But I don't never know how to start these joints or whatever. So I think that I'm just gonna start these joints by saying I don't know how to start these joints. So
all right, that's
here
good.
we are. You know what I mean? Now I appreciate you. You know what I mean, coming through and whatnot. I mean, I know I already kind of told you about throw away the keys, but really it's just about appreciating, you know what I mean, the culture, you know what I mean, people to help build the culture, people to help turn Columbus into a place that it is right now.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean, because there's a lot of untold stories, a lot of unsung heroes, if you will. You see what I'm saying?
That's a lot.
Yeah, you feel me? So, I mean, obviously I know who you are or whatever, but do you want to, just say, like, for the people, like,
yeah, man. Rob White, Sincerely RW, Migo Jobs. I have way too many nicknames.
Migo Jobs?
Migo Jobs, yeah.
What does that mean?
So yeah, Des Arnaz actually gave me the nickname Migo because it's just like when everything just kind of started happening, 2010, 2011, and building up. I went from somebody who people thought was like an egg account. You thought it was like some type of spam account or something like that because I knew all these people, but nobody seemed to know me. So, when everything just started moving, it's moved real fast pace and just got really connected, where a lot of people started doing a lot of things. So, he gave me the nickname Migo and it stuck. So, yeah.
Word. So, I mean, like, what all do you do? You know what I mean? Or
man.
did you do? Or like, who is Rob White? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So, I'm a founder of We Are Heroes. So 501c. We've done a lot of charity games for breast cancer awareness. Ronald McDonald House. Also, Mid Ohio Food Bank. We do food drive cookouts. Called Hunger Games. Just a lot of different things. We're redefining the vision right now, just to make it more so not necessarily like a mentorship, but a contributorship towards just the up and coming generation and passing down, what I've learned through, my travels. So mainly it's just creative on the marketing side, whether that's social media branding, corporate branding, it can be, blogs, whatever the case might be. So, wherever I'm needed, I'm always just a phone call away for anybody.
Where recently, I just adopted this new like slogan or whatever, etc. by EhKees, because it's like, yo, what do you do? Nigga, a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
I don't even know where to start. You see what I'm saying?
How many characters I got for this?
Yeah, you feel me? But like, it was important for me to like get people like you, on the throw away the keys, like series, if you will, because I think that that 2010, 11, like the beginning of Twitter, the beginning of Instagram, all that jazz, like. I think that was really like fundamental, you know what I'm saying, for like where Columbus is right now, like just like laying the groundwork or whatever. And I wanted to, hear some firsthand like stories, from that era and everything, and to talk to somebody that was, if I was back in 2010, it would be like, ETC back then. So it's like the forerunner. I don't know if that's the right word, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah, so I don't know. That's kind of like why I wanted to talk to you about it.
Sure.
We Are Heroes. I remember I graduated in 2010.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like it's literally like as like y'all was like forming and everything. That's when I was like just first introduced to like the Columbus scene and whatnot. So I don't even know if I have the full breadth of like what exactly it was.
Yeah, so as far as like We Are Heroes, man, it's like the premise is that we can't change the world, but we can change those around us. So that can be being a positive influence for your niece, your nephew, little brother, sister, even like your mom or dad, and it's each one of us picking each other up, just to work, and that can be through knowledge, it can be through entertainment, it can be through advice, it can be whatever the case might be, and that's why it's more open-ended, So it's just a space for creatives to come. Creators to learn, flourish, and realize their vision. So through We Are Heroes, I made a lot of different connections. Whether it be with like the Saturday brand, working with Gym Factory, just to kind of name a few. So I'm always kind of working in those pockets as well. But it's also we're so interconnected, but we don't really touch each other's lives in a positive fashion enough. And so it's taking that interconnectedness and then bringing people together for a greater cause, just like you guys are doing now, especially with the orange soda.
I appreciate that, man. I like the name We Are Heroes because it's Ebonics. You know what I mean? Like the technical English or whatever, like should be like we're our heroes or whatever. It's like we are heroes. Like it's that implicit, like you know what I mean. When you get it, you understand.
Double entendre.
Yeah,
Don't
you
even ask me how.
Right. But I also think it's a powerful statement too. I think that it's one of those things that subliminally, like started to like I said, it was during my formative years, my young adult years. So saying like we are our heroes or whatever.
Indeed, we are.
And then come back years later and it's the same joint. Like I hear J. Cole, saying like love yours. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it's the same type of thing. It's like where you are, like that's good enough or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's like you look around, those are the people that you should be trying to talk to, that you should be trying to make lives better and whatnot. And I think Tupac was the one that said it, and you might have just like said a variation of it. It's like I'm not going to be able to change the world, but I might be able to affect somebody that can. And it's like we might not be able to, with Columbus, for example, right? It might not. Somebody's making music here or whatever. Like maybe they never get 1 million plays, whatever, right? But if that song is good enough and the message inside of it can like change one person's life, then it's like, all right, it wasn't heard by 1 million, but you changed one person's life or whatever. It's like that action in and of itself is good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like that is like that's what it's all about. That's the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I don't know. I really like that whole. I don't even know. Maybe I synthesized like way more than like what you initially intended. You know what I'm saying with it.
But I think you hit it right on the nose.
Okay.
Because at its inception, starting the way I started, learning from the people who were before me, so learning from, the Deontay's, who run Soul Classics and watching him grow, watching the impact that he had. Always looked up to him in that. Just looking at different guys around the city who were doing creative things. And I just wanted to contribute. I just wanted to contribute positively. And so then when I branched away from that, I said, what do I want my journey to mean? What do I want my legacy, for lack of a better word, to be? And it's that inception factor of, planting that seed to say, don't wait for philanthropy to come to the hood. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to bring any big oversized check to us and be like, yo, here, everything's good now. Let's go ahead and change it. And so ever since then, I just been on the wave of just trying to curate positive energy and influence and effect in a very personal way, as many people as I can. Just try to infect them with good ideas, encouragement. I understand that what you guys are doing especially requires a lot of work that a lot of people don't see. A lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of diligence, a lot of finance. It requires an absolute lot. So I think that, if I'm able to just even hop into a space and say, you know what, that piece you did, yo, thank you for realizing that vision. Like, I definitely appreciate that. That's great work. Keep it up. You never know how that could affect someone going forward.
Facts. So tell me a little bit more about like the charity kickball games and stuff that you guys just have.
Oh, man. The great thing about that is that, once we started doing them, started seeing more. But we would do probably start them back up probably this coming year, really. I thought about it this year, but it's just a little bit too short notice. A lot of people have been asking about them. But one of my favorites is the Powder Puff, Powder Puff flag football game. We tried to do a co-ed one year, and it just got kind of crazy.
So it was just women?
So in October it'll be just women.
Oh, okay.
So it's just all for breast cancer awareness, Susan G. Komen. And so people can, donate. I think the last one we had, we had a few Browns players as coaches. Fly Union came through. DJ B. Reese was DJing, stuff like that. My favorite event personally is Hunger Games. So that's typically around May or June. So what we do, man, we just rent out a park, family friendly, bring the kids, bring the fam, have basketball, kickball, had a live music going, but it's like a potluck cookout. So everybody, bring what they can, but in order to get a plate, you have to bring canned goods. And then we take it to Mid-Ohio Food Bank. So the last time we did it, we raised, I think it's close to 700 pounds of food.
Wow.
Yeah, so taking that, dropping that off and then contributing that way. So, we having a good time, we functioning, but then also we're contributing positively as well.
Nah, that's real dope, super dope. So, I know you said that you're re-envisioning the brand and everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what other stuff are you like working on? Like past We Are Heroes.
Well, We're Heroes is always kind of like the umbrella that everything falls under. We operate more as an art house, like, as I mentioned earlier, more into curation. So say, for instance, you have a brand, say it could be Fly Paper, it could be Gym Factory. Having those conversations, so speaking with somebody who's working on an idea, have a very intimate conversation, seeing how we can work and kind of intertwine where I can assist, and then take it from that point. It could be web design. It could be merchant marketing. It could be, I've had conversations about people opening gyms or branching out of franchisees, whatever the case might be. But it's always, like I said, a space for creators to come. And if there's anything that I can do to help, it can be Dom Deshawn, working with him, after hours, and, helping him flesh out his vision as well.
Did you help out with After Hours?
And loosely, I don't like to try to take credit for anything, but
for sure.
I kind of gave some input to him and input to it, and he's been doing his thing. He's really been flourishing. I think he just had an event recently. I hear about him, a lot. So
man, I was so sorry. I had a missive, and I had to take care of a friend that had gotten sick that night. Yeah, I was really sorry that I couldn't go to it. So.
Yes, sir. So so it's always about just a curation. It's constantly it's a flowing thing. So it can be a boutique shop. It can be a blog. It can be a catering business. I like it that way because it's more personal. So more so at the height of the powers of We're Heroes. There were 30 plus people, working with, and the group chats, the group me's, and everything else is going. And so at that point, you had charity games going, you had the radio shows going, you had the blogs going, you had the parties going. I think at that point, I signed a contract to help reopen Red Zone with CSG Group. So at that point, it's like, it's a 48-hour shift in a 24-hour day.
Yeah.
And so now it's more so, okay, well, let's have a little work-life balance, and let's just kind of just hop in. So it can be, somebody doing prints, helping them kind of get that vision off the ground, kind of get the word out, and just how to get that in front of people to build their business.
Word. That's real dope. So I want to go back just a little bit. Are you initially from Columbus?
No, I'm from Cleveland.
Cleveland. When did you come down to the city?
Oh man, when I 18, fresh out of high school, graduated early, came down here to play some college ball, and really fell in love with the people, fell in love with the culture, the opportunity. Saw it as a place where I could flourish, where I always wanted to create. I didn't know what I wanted to create then, but I knew I wanted to grow into that, and Columbus I felt like was the right place for it to be. So
you went to OSU?
I went to OSU. I started at Capital.
Oh, I didn't know you went to Capital.
Yes, sir.
Ah,
shout out to Capital, man. Yeah,
that's my school.
Yeah, Crusaders, out.
Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea. That's what's up, though. You played basketball or football? Football.
Yeah. So I was there for 2 years, and I finished up my last two at OSU. So. So I kind of got the experience of both, but I did like Capital better. I mean, go Bucks, but still.
Respectfully, to all the OSU. Yeah, you say you fell in love with Columbus. Like, what exactly did you fall in love with here?
Hate to use this buzzword, man. I know people run into the dirt. Energy, dog. We need to play buzzword like Jeopardy or something. But really, man, just like the energy. People like yourself. People out here doing things for themselves. It could be on a storefront tip. It can be on the music. It can be like the guys over at Mouth Worldwide. It could be. It's all of those things. All of those things are always there. I think I remember it was at Major Woody's. It was like a Major Woody's phone party and stuff like that. And I just see young people doing it, like living life, not waiting, just going forward and actualizing those dreams. And that was important to be around that for me.
Where do you ever want to go back to Cleveland?
Man, you know what, man? I love it. Actually, just came back.
From Cleveland?
Yeah. For holidays, Mom do so and having it. So so she threw down the crazy mac and cheese and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, Cleveland's always home. Show a lot of love from Steph Floss, DJ Mel, all those guys, 8081. They show love anytime I'm back in the city. So I definitely love my pockets of time that I get to spend there. But if I gotta be honest, man, just living in New Albany for these past few years, like it's kind of spoiled me. I just like ride my bike around and just like
it's like you don't got to worry about it.
Right. You know, I just ride my bike around, eat frozen yogurt all the time, so it's simple.
I feel that. You just threw me off. All right, so like, I'm not trying to say that you drop a lot of names or anything like that, but I mean, like, I'm just curious. So, putting yourself in these different, like, you know, circles or whatever that you can, you have the privilege of being able to meet people, be able to influence the culture. Like, how did you get to that point? Like, what did you do?
Hard work, integrity, just being consistent. You know, as far as like the marketing and doing ideas, I do that professionally. So for corporate entities, for brands, for stuff like that. And so I took those principles, those gems, so to speak, from that side, and I just brought it over to the culture, and then understood that you don't get something for nothing. So a lot of work was done to build relationships, and I think that's the underlying thing, is that I think that people, they want to go 0 to 100 when really the goal is to win the day. As long as you're getting 1% better each day, then you're moving in the right direction. So
that's a key right there.
Man, I mean that's really been the foundation of it all. Like, I have an alarm on my phone every morning, 6 a.m. say level up, and I can't clear it until I've done something better today than I did the day before. And so that can be, you know, communicating with guys. Like, it could be, you know, one of the names I dropped, looking for some sneaks. Oh, okay, you know, I got a sneak person. You know, here you go. Boom. It can be, okay, well, I need a design for this. I need it by this time. This is for this person. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, bet. Okay, yeah, bet. It can be, say, like, with Connect, and Mero, what he's doing. I think he thought I was crazy, but it was like maybe like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I just sent him like a packet of like just mock-ups, like just ideas, you know, just because I appreciate what he's doing with it. So a lot of it is operating with integrity, honesty, transparency. At the top of the conversation, on top of a relationship, it's like, okay, well, what am I looking to get out of this? What are you looking to get out of this? Just to make sure there's no misconceptions, there's no miscommunications, and then we work going forth. You know, spread the word, spread the awareness, and it's really humbling to see. And the reward isn't, to me, monetary. That stuff will work itself out. The currency is people. And the currency is that reciprocation and the love from the people. So when I hop on, say, Twitter or Instagram, and I see "Focus on Yourself" stickers or shirts, you know, all across the country, then at that point, you know, it's like, it's all worth it. You can't attach a dollar amount to people appreciating your work or reciprocating that love, or just even being a part of it, you know, to even be in the conversation, like to be in the same room as you with everything that you're doing, to be like, yeah, hey, okay, well, this guy might be somebody worthwhile to talk to. Like, that means the world to me. And that makes everything that happened prior worth it, just for this moment.
Right. Nah, I think that's major and everything. People, they speaking of buzzwords, right? Clout. Everybody's like,
Clout rules everything around me.
Yeah, but real talk, like, and like I say it jokingly sometimes, like, you know, my clout's crazy, all this type of stuff. But in a lot of ways, I think it's exactly what you just said. Like, there's a social currency that you can't put a monetary value on. Your reputation, your word, the validity of your word, whether or not it means anything, whether or not you could say, I'm going to do something, and like you actually have the capacity to go out and do it.
Exactly.
Like, that really means something. And building that up and being able to like build up a reservoir of it, right? And then also know how to spend it. Like, how to like go and approach other people with it. I think that's a skill that is undermined a lot of ways, because I think we're in a generation that's like, oh, I got to be anti everything, or I have to be too cool and all that type of stuff. Or it's like, I don't want to even like say that that's something that I'm pursuing. Like, when I tell people with a lot of things with fly paper, like a lot of it's free. And I tell them, it's like, oh, we're not going to charge for this. I was like, but the bag. I was like, bro, the bag doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't, because that's going to be your last one.
Exactly.
You're going to get one bag, that's it, instead of the residual.
Exactly. But if you can create a residual effect where people want to keep on coming back to you for whatever reason, and I mean, then you get into a position where, you know what I mean, like, you don't even have to ask for example, orange soda. last week, and it's not a fly paper party. It's just something that me and Bern are doing. But yeah, last week we threw the party and everything on Friday, and no cover. You know what I'm saying? Well, after the RSVP list, because our RSVP list was double the capacity of the venue, so we had to cut it off.
That's a problem.
Yeah, no, literally,
it's a good problem.
Kinda, I don't know. I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie, because like I wanted it to. My initial thoughts, I just want to make having fun cool again. Like, I just want people to come and enjoy themselves. You go to a party in a stacked room to, like, you know, you can't even move around, can't breathe. It's like now it's we're harming ourselves, shooting ourselves in the foot because too many people in. So we had to put a cover on the door. Like, if you didn't RSVP, then it's like, all right, now you got to pay $10 or whatever. Or now you got to pay $20.
Well, I think you hit it right on the head. It's just to, like you said, like, having fun great again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and another thing that you said that's really important, like you said, reputation, names. I think that's the only time where, you know, I've reached it in the past or something that with people, like, your word, your reputation, your name should mean everything.
It should.
Other than that, you know, I'm all jokes and everything else like that. But I think you hit it right on the head. It's just, you know, not worrying about the bag, not trying to pick up the bag, you know, so every trip, not trying to hit people over the head for this, for that.
Right.
You know, to see you guys grow and just the ideas just keep evolving and people giving back, that's when the fun really happens.
And you know what's crazy? It's like at Orange Soda, I'm not gonna say her name. She came early, like at like 8:45 before doors even open, and like we were selling cups and everything just as a way to recoup the cost for the venue and all that. Obviously optional. And she came in and she was like, "How much did it cost?" All right, here. And then she was like, "I'm about to leave." And it's like, "But you didn't get a cup. You're not saying what you talking." And she's like, "No, I just want to come and support or whatever. Just want to put money."
Love.
And then later that night, somebody else came and they just gave us $50, like just for the sake of like believing in what we were doing or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's
5
major.
times as much as you would charge at the door, or 10 times if we were only charging 5. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's only our second event, so we'd have to have thrown 10 different events for us to get that same amount of money that somebody just came because they believed in it. You know what I mean? And it's like that type of thing. I think is important.
I think that one thing that people. Like, I don't like when people take themselves too serious because you can't accept a blessing with a closed hand. So, like, if you're, like, closed off, if you're too cool for school for everything, then you make yourself unapproachable. Like, there's no humanistic quality to what you're doing. It's the Dickensian aspect. It's like, you know, how do you humanize, you know, what you're doing? So we can take it to say, like, my Twitter. My Twitter is honest, it's transparent for a reason. Everything is on brand because, I mean, y'all gonna talk, y'all gonna say whatever regardless. I might as well tell y'all the truth. You know, just so it ain't no confusion or what's going on, like it's happening. So with that, I think that when people understand that if you're, like, the energy you give, it's the energy you get back. And so if you're expelling those good vibes and, you know, you're contributing, like you said, like you're not trying to hit people over the head and people see the idea behind it, they see the concept behind it, like we need more of that.
Right.
And so don't underestimate people because to circle back to we're heroes, it's like we're our own heroes. Each one of us is a hero. Like when I'm saying we're 1-to-1, so I am you, you are me. So it's like we're no better than the other. But at the same time, we have to recognize that we need each other. And one thing that I always mention when I work with, say, artists, it can be Big James, it can be Kent, because I'm just on the name dropping spree.
We're gonna name this episode.
Right, see how many hats, like Follow Back Friday. Like, but, you know, one thing I mentioned is that never underestimate, you know, people's ability to comprehend your vision, but also people's ability to see through what you're doing. Right. Because if you're not doing things for the right reason, you won't be around very long. And then it'll be evident. It'll be one of those situations, oh, okay, you did something in 2013. Oh, that's cool, bro. That's cool. That's what's up. But, you know, if people are able to see the integrity behind what you're doing, reputation, name, you know, being able to believe in it, they see your consistency. Then at that point, man, like you had a whole city behind you. So I think, you know, I kind of get an ill feeling when people, you know, kind of shoot down Columbus or say that Columbus doesn't support. Be like, well, maybe, you know what I'm saying, you got the right dream, but maybe you're not executing it the right way.
Ooh, that's a key too.
And then maybe you need to come see me. I was
it's like, but I do consult. You see what I'm saying? Reasonably, maybe, if your talent's good enough. That's funny though. I like what you said about not taking yourself seriously. Like, last year I threw a comedy roast like for myself on my birthday.
That's a dope idea.
It was like, why would you set yourself up to?
I want to steal it.
That's crazy. You see this? You see what I'm
But I
talking
get the roast back though. I get the roast back.
Yeah, I mean, I roasted back at the end. Yeah. I was like, damn, did I go too far? But nah, it was all good. My mom got up and roasted. My mom, the girl that I was like seeing at the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they all they killed me. Like, oh my God, it was, yeah. But it was a good time though, and everybody, and that's the thing. They like left, and they was like, "Yo, like I've never like done something. I don't like eating, like you know what I'm saying. I don't like going out to eat. Don't like restaurants. Like,
same.
I grew up poor. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like, bologna sandwiches is what like cuisine for me. So
I'm full on the same. Like, like you give me like a pack of ramen noodles, like I'll make whatever you want. Like
I might go get some ramen today.
If you want surf and turf, I got you.
Yeah,
you want steak, I got you. If you want waffle, I'll make it happen.
Right.
So yeah, I feel you on that for sure.
But yeah, I don't like going out to clubs. I mean, it was at Avalon, but it was like a different type of Avalon. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
I love music, so I had my DJ spinning, and then I had one of my best friends hosting, and then I had like friends and family just in there, just like making fun of me. But the thing is that that's something that people already do. They naturally do. It's like a way that we like. Show love to each other. Well, how they show love to me, because whatever. So it's like I felt like that was the most appropriate way, and it's like, regardless of what I'm doing in the city or like who knows me when I walk into a room and all that type of stuff, it's like you can't take yourself too seriously. So yeah, I appreciate that or whatever that little tidbit and everything.
Yeah,
and I think it's contagious too. You know what I mean? Like. When you walk around with a certain like vibe about you or whatever, and like people trust that you're not trying to take advantage of them,
exactly.
Then like they're drawn to you. You know what I mean? You end up being more successful.
And you know what? And I mean you're right. And I don't really calculate success and like you said, like in monetary gain and stuff like that. I really calculate it in name and reputation. It's like if we're introduced to each other and we're having interactions, whether it be elongated or brief. If you walk away from the situation better than what you came in, no matter how it ended, then my job is done. If you've gained like perspective, if you just leveled up in any way, it can be maybe you're planning your meals better, maybe you're getting more rest, maybe you're drinking more water, maybe you minding your business a little bit more.
Hey,
it can be whatever.
That's the first time that I met you. Like you was like talking like real healthy and all this type of shit. I was like, I need to go drink some more water. Like no, I kind of fell off and everything. So now that you say that, it reminds me.
I mean, my thing is, so like something that really hurts me is just that like when I see. Those black people dying young. It's like an epidemic. Like if the cops don't get us, if the oppression doesn't give us, if the system doesn't get us, then our kidneys get us.
Right.
Our cardiac issues get us. So I had an uncle last year. He passed due to a diabetic coma. And I just kind of took a look at myself. Just took a look inward, was self-aware. Say, okay, am I making the best decisions for my life? To be around for my loved ones. I don't have kids, but I have two beautiful goddaughters, Mila and Nola. So am I doing everything that I can do to be a positive contributing factor to those around me? Now, I'm not saying that you have to just be on this streak, on a strict like paleo or whatever is out there, but just making conscious, healthy choices. And that can be conscious, healthy choice and the type of water, and like drinking more water and type of food you eat, but also the energy that you intake. So you're like, people don't really perceive this, but what you take in, be it from social media, be it from television, that's part of your diet as well. That's part of being healthy as well. So people say, oh, you tweet a lot. Well, it's always in a condensed pocket. It's like, during the day, maybe like 2 to 9 or something like that. But then after that, like my phone's down. I'm more engaged in the conversations I might be having at that time. Talking about different social constructs, watching Dave Chappelle specials or whatever the case might be, because you have to really flush all that stuff out because we're intaking so much, but I don't think that we're aware of how these things are affecting us psychologically over time. It's a war of attrition. So, so the health thing is not only about just drinking water, it's about just having a healthy diet and what you intake in terms of knowledge as well.
Yeah, that's real. That's super real. So, I don't know. I kind of want to I ask you because I mean,
Yeah.
spoke about what you did. Excuse me. Spoke about kind of what you're doing now. So like, what's next for you?
What's next, man? Bigger and better things, man. We're doing some great things. With some.
Man, you just gave the most cliche answer. Hey, it's like, everywhere you look, there you are.
Because
You
I'm
feel
just
me?
trying
Every
to think
day is a day, 24
I'm
hours.
trying to think what does the paperwork say I could say?
Oh, yeah, all right, fair enough.
But yeah, just moving, just taking it a step beyond.
He said, just follow me. I'll tell you when I can tell you.
Reaching that next threshold, I think like if you pay attention, to the media and stuff that we're putting out there, a lot of the retweets and stuff like that, and you kind of connect the dots on a few things, but really just taking it to the next level, crossing that threshold, because I feel like you have to really kind of work in your neighborhood, okay, then working, in a larger community, work in your city, work in your state. So now it's to the point to where, we want to take it nationally. So that can be working with different models for like New York Fashion Week. Shabby St. Hill is one of them. So, we work on different looks. We do different poses, different ideas, different aesthetics and stuff like that. And, I really love it because she educates me a lot as well. But it's just really taking it to the next level and taking it to those bigger companies and putting, us on a stage.
Word.
Yeah.
You said a lot there. You know what I mean? I understood, you was kind of Harlem shaking through the pressure and shit. So I commend you for that, you know what I'm saying?
Little 3-man weave real quick.
Yeah. All right, so I got some rapid fire questions for you. You see what I'm saying?
Bet.
Yeah, normally, well, actually not normally, like for the first couple ones, we told them beforehand. I was like, we're going to catch them off guard. You know what I mean? So no preparation. You feel me?
So I like it.
Top 3 places you like to take somebody on a date in Columbus?
Whew. Man, depends on the date. But 16-bit, the Dirty Frank's karaoke. It's a nice.
Dirty Frank's has a karaoke.
Dirty Frank's has a karaoke night.
Word.
So that's a little, a little humble.
What type of karaoke is it?
It's like anything.
Like, do you get to choose the music?
Yeah, you get to choose the music. I like a little book there and stuff like that. Choose the songs. We got the little TV and stuff that. It's ain't too bad.
They got music for.
You're not gonna find Migos like.
Yeah. Will they at least have like Mariah? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
you know what I'm saying. If you want to
some Kanye, you feel me?
For sure.
All right,
Kanye for sure.
All right.
So that's a spot. I'm kind of gonna give away one of my gems, Cooper's Hawk.
Really?
Yeah, wine tasting is phenomenal. Not too expensive, and really you can just kind of take your time. And I really love dialogue. So whether that's having a wine tasting, or you can kind of take it to the bar, have like a flight, and then maybe a few small plates here or there. If I had to pick another spot, I would say orange soda or brunch and beats.
Word.
90s vibe, like kind of getting out, kicking it. Just really interacting, man. Just having a good time.
It's crazy. Now I ask people, the top 3 dates, so I can steal those ideas and everything. But don't tell nobody that part. Hey, edit that out. But now with orange soda and everything, like, all right, so it's near nostalgia, right? It's a 2000s party. But every time we say we're having a throwback party, they always think it's the 90s. I don't know why. Like,
90s, 2000, little unkept secret. Me and another name drop. Here it comes. I'm gonna need like an anvil for like all the name drops.
Yeah, my God.
Me and Marlon Anthony worked on an event earlier last year. It was the 90s, 90s throwback party, stuff like that. But it was like 90s, like 2000.
Yeah.
And it was really well received. So it was
orange soda, like, it's 2000 to 2009 and everything. It's like, because I feel like that era doesn't get any love or whatever. You see what I mean? So.
I feel what they're saying, but it's like, why pigeonhole it to that? Like, why not just
because
take
it's a million 90s parties, like 1,000,001.
Why can't we just have just a party just like commemorating like all time periods and friends? I ain't saying like play like Ohio players or nothing like that, but
true,
what I'm saying? But like, throw some Biggie in there.
There's just hella, there's some Biggie in the 2000s, so, the duets. You feel me?
Okay.
Man, we're gonna have to talk about this. Right. Right, so you already gave me the dates. All right, on that note about music and everything, top 3 favorite artists of all time.
Wow. I would probably have to go. Ye. Just because like just his level of creativity, his ambition, with different things. It can be like with Yeezus, it's like when he was just popping up and putting things that's on buildings, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, probably one of my top 3 favorite albums. So I'll have to go him. Number 2.
You gotta listen to the Dissect podcast, by the way.
Dissect podcast?
Yeah.
I'm on it. Shoot me the link, I'm in there.
Yeah.
Drake. I think that with the level of consistency, writing, just like he has a lot of contributions which people aren't aware of. The artists that he works with, it can be Party Next Door, be Division, whatever the case might be. That Division album is crazy. Great album to spend quality time with somebody's daughter with. And I would have to say, number 3, that you got to say Hove.
I'm not mad at that top 3 at all.
Yeah, I
feel like you kind of just pandered to me, honestly.
but I think like to me, like Hove, I just love just his evolution, his message. Like I started with Reasonable Doubt,
right.
22 Twos, The Evils, Cashmere Thoughts. I graduated to Volume 1, and moved on to Volume 2, etc., etc. Blueprint, probably one of my favorite records. Song Cry, and I made a kind of an intertwined Jay-Z playlist a couple weeks ago. But just taking it to 444 on like the visuals and what he's doing, like with Family Feud and like the clips, the media he's putting out, as far as him talking with a therapist and walking through that. These are conversations which we need to have. And so understanding being self-aware and that responsibility means a lot.
Yeah.
I think I was playing 444 yesterday, but it's always like some point
Today,
in time.
Like on my way here, I was playing it.
You was playing it? But it's like some days, I'm saying, like it's a beautiful sunny day outside and, like we run into, could be World of Beer or something, could be, Fidel's or something like that, another little hidden gem spot.
Fidel's, where's that at?
Fidel's at Easton.
Oh, okay. I hate Easton. So probably won't buy me there.
Yeah, they have a crazy craft beer, St. Bernardus. So if you ever just pop in,
I do like craft beer though.
Yeah, do the St. Bernardus, do St. Bernardus Ale, and then do the banana bread. No, not the banana, but the bread pudding with it. And they got a fireplace in the back, so you can sit back there and get all cozy. Day number 4.
That shit's like 6.
What is like 6?
You just throwing out all the keys,
Man, you know what, man? Dating is dope. So definitely
dating
love it.
So make dating great again in 2018, man. People don't date.
I'm gonna ask you a question, man.
Oh shit,
man. Yeah, I'm gonna flip this. I'm gonna flip this in. Welcome to the table. I said, you got the sticker. Okay, got the mug. Okay, yeah, I'm rocking with that. Dating in 2018.
Oh man.
How do we overcome?
Overcome what?
Instagram, Twitter. How do we date in 2018?
I'll tell you how I do it.
How you do it?
My spirit animal is J.R. Smith. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, shoot.
Yeah, you just shoot. Like, I try my best. Like, speaking about your diet and social media and all that. Like, I try my best not to conform to like the rules, if you will. And it's like I just live intentionally in the moment. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
so
important.
It's like if somebody tweets something that I think is really dope, then I respond like, yo, I appreciate that sentiment, or I like what you said there, or I don't like what you said there, or I don't, that type of thing. And then if it leads to conversation, like a lot of things on the time I end up like in the DMs or whatever, and it's like, all right, if we can converse, keep on conversing, then it's like if I see you out at an event, and then it's the same thing, keep that same energy, then every time you see it, it's the same thing. But I'd rather be attracted to somebody's intellect, their mind, like their personality, than to their like looks. Like I deleted Snapchat off my phone because it's too lusty. You see what I mean?
It's too lusty for you?
Yeah, it's too lusty and it's obsessive. Like if I know everything that you're doing in your day, then how can you tell me what you're doing in your day? That's not the thing. Like if I'm really, really into you, I don't follow you on Twitter because I because I don't want to know everything that you're doing. When I'm talking to you on the phone, when I'm texting, like, yo, how you doing? It's like, oh, yeah, I went to the movies or whatever. But it's like, oh, I know because you just told me. Or, oh, I'm watching Scandal. It's like, I know because I see. Like, it's like, I already know everything that you're doing. So you can't really tell me. And I want to get back to being intentional about my conversations and stuff with people.
I think you said some gems in there for sure. I think that the Twitter thing, it kind of hits home for me because one thing that I get a lot is you tweet everything.
Yeah, I get that a lot too.
I tweet like 6% of my day.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
like there's like a lot that goes on.
All right, bro, there's a lot more.
Right, yeah, come sit down, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some Pinots, you know what I'm saying, some ice wine or whatever the case might be, and we're just gonna chop it. I'm gonna tell you about the real day. But I think that you're right, like social media has to be measured. But what I find to be difficult is, like you said, like taking things too serious, and you know, I don't blame them. But as far as starting dialogues, before it was a very transient, just a very simple process. Hey, okay, what's up? Let's play a numbers game. Oh, okay, bet. You know, everything's popping. You know, now it's like, okay, well, who do they know? Who do they know? Okay, this or that. Oh, she got a kid by him. Oh, okay, well, you know, it's a lot of nuance to it, I feel like. But to me, I think that if we can have, you know, open and respectful dialogue, you know, I think that that's, to me, the most important part. You know, even just starting those conversations. But I think the social media just makes it just even more difficult. There are so many presumptions.
I try to be honest and transparent about everything. You see what I mean? And so it's like, I'm honest. Like, say if I'm attracted to you, like I'll just tell you. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, if I want to spend time, just like, yo, I want to see you or whatever. But then on that same note, it's also checking the patriarchy of it, right? The misogyny of it, and
you have to be cognizant of that,
the ownership of women. You know what I mean? That's something that Jay-Z 444 actually helped to, like, you know, instill in me specifically. Is like, just because we go on a date or because we've gone on dates for the last 6 months, whatever, that doesn't mean that you're my girl or I'm your man, or that you're not doing it with other people. Like Jerome, he had this jump to me or whatever. He said, just because we start, I'm not going to assume that it stopped and everything. And I'm not going to assume the only one until you tell me that I am. You know what I'm saying? And like vice versa. So that's how I date at the very least. Until like we have those like honest conversations like, yo, are you seeing anybody else? Or like, yo, I don't want to see anybody else. Then it's like just live in the moment. Every time we go somewhere, then we go somewhere, and then like that's the totality of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that like you hit on the head. Like that honesty is key. Like if like we coming out the gate and say you got a situation going on, be upfront about the situation, and then depending on how things are moving in the conversation, okay, if we're gonna evolve beyond that, but give me a choice. Don't have me out here looking crazy. It's really all I ask.
You see, I don't even care about that.
You know what? How you looking crazy?
Nah, because like, how can I look crazy or whatever? Like, say for example, if we go to the movies or whatever, I just had a great time with her. You see what I'm saying? And then like next week, like she's dating somebody else or whatever, like exclusively. And it's like that doesn't take away from the fact that me and you had a great time at the movie. You see what I'm saying?
See, the thing that I run into is that. Like you said, like, you know, the ownership and things of that nature is that, like, I don't feel as though I'm entitled to any portion of your time.
Exactly.
I feel as though I can present an option for you to choose to spend time. And now if you elect to spend time, then we're going to do it at 100%. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do some fly things. It's going to be simple things, but it's going to be some fly things. But I think that communication is key, because when you're unaware and certain things come out on social media, then it's just like you start getting texts and stuff like that, like, oh my God, like that's so-and-so's girlfriend. Be like, honestly, I had no idea.
I mean, so-and-so's girl, that's different. And then that's
bro, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. And I think that
don't go with me if you dating somebody. You feel me? Like,
well, that's the thing. You know, and that's the thing, because I recently heard something recently over the holiday seasons that, like, she said, I appreciate you because when I told him everything that you were doing, it made him step up and realize. It's like, so everything that you were doing, I wanted him to do. So I said, oh, you want him to be me? Like, oh, basically, I said, oh, okay, bad. Well, you know what I'm saying? Well, you've had your time, you know, you've made that investment.
Exactly.
Now, you know what I'm saying, now grow from there, because once again, you know, it's not an ownership situation, but I think that just honesty across the board. Because a lot of people try to hide things, hide a facade. I'm coming out the gate swinging with everything. Yeah. I'm letting you know off top, yo, this is this handle. Go peep what you need to peep. All right, yo, okay, you know this person. All right, so this thing happened with this thing. I'm coming out the gate swinging, so you're not going to be caught by surprise with me. Yeah. Because I don't ever want you to come back and say like, oh, well, he was fake. He didn't have integrity. He didn't have my best. Because
at the end of the day, what matters the most is your word.
It's my name.
Yeah, exactly.
My name is my name.
My name, and that's like you can say whatever you want about me, just don't lie on me. Like that's the only thing. Because like you can't undo a lie. You know what I mean? But
yeah, you really can't and I always question people who will lie.
can't ring a bell, you know.
Because if I catch wind of it, you know, and I know a tremendous amount of people, so I usually always do. But like when I catch wind of it, and then when I go to correct the issue, are you going to work as diligently to correct that lie as you did to create it?
Exactly. And you never do.
Right. So you're never going to go back and make yourself look crazy. Be like, okay, well, I was actually, I was embellishing on this, and I was just heated on this, and I was tired, and I was drunk on this, like. And so the worst thing you can do is pretty much lie on me.
Right.
And then
I agree.
Then at that point,
or lie to me.
Well, my thing is this: is that you lie on me. The only thing I'm gonna do is tell the truth about you.
Hey, who's that? That Kendrick that said that?
I don't know.
It is off of one of the Untitled joints.
One of the Untitled?
Yeah.
Then that must be, man. Get God on the phone. I love that record.
Don't Tell a Lie on Me. It's on 444? Oh, the hard part 4.
So the hard part 4.
Yeah. Don't tell a lie on me. I'll tell the truth about you.
I'll tell the truth on you.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just the thing is that like operate in a space of integrity and positivity at all times, and don't do anything in the dark that you don't want to come to light.
That's a major key right there, man. Dating an influencer. You see what I'm saying? RW. You know
you want to know something that's crazy? How We're Heroes' first event was speed dating.
Word.
At Lounge 62.
And people have been asking me to put on a speed dating event and everything. We might have to talk about that.
Yeah, man, I think we might have to join forces. Actually, I got some requests last year to do another one, but they wanted to do open-ended. So open-ended, LGBTQ friendly.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's open-ended?
Hetero, homo, everything, what I'm saying, just together, speed dating, operating that.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, the logistics, just to try to be cognizant of people's privacy and stuff like that are important. But that community supports and everything like that. So I think that'd be a great idea.
That's really interesting. Mm-hmm. All right, so the last top 3 that I want to ask you, who's 3 artists from Columbus that you feel like aren't talked about enough?
Oh man, aren't talked about enough.
Actually, I'm gonna ask you 2. Your 3 favorite, and then 3 that you feel like aren't talked about enough.
My 3 favorite and 3 that aren't talked about enough. I would have to say, from the city.
Yeah, from the city. Columbus, not Cleveland. Okay.
Columbus, not Cleveland. I think my lists are more so one and the same. Because I feel as though my favorites should be talked about more. So I got to go, off top 1A, 1B. I got to go Kent. I got to go Big James. Mm-hmm. One thing is that, like I said, if I see somebody's vision or something like that, I think I can contribute positively. Mm-hmm. Sit down, just like when me and you connected. Come in my home. Let's have an open dialogue, no time frame. Like, let's just kind of flesh these things out.
Right.
Let's see where you're at. Let's see where you're going. Let's plan all the way through for you and help you execute that. So those guys were amazing, just like chilling with them. And then, like through travels, we always link up, get some 2K in, how the 2K game ended was kind of ugly, so I won't bring that up. But I'll say them. I would say
you lost or they lost.
No.
I don't want to talk about 2K. Man.
I haven't lost since 2K on Dreamcast.
Listen, something really bad happened to me in 2K a couple weeks ago.
You got swung on?
Nah,
you had the sliders up. You one of those.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna just say it because it's on record and everything. Like, I need to defend myself. It's gonna hit the web eventually if it's not already there. Yeah. I was playing online with somebody. And I was on the phone and I was talking about something real serious and everything. So I was kind of on autopilot. Yeah. Like, I was just running down, shooting, and whatever. But you can't quit, but it's the homie and everything. So I scored 15 points.
Total?
Yeah, total.
All right, well that's not too bad. I was last time I played Madden online was with EG. He thrashed me so bad. I changed over to Xbox. I said I have to get away from him. I can't have that. I said that whole situation, we're gonna go ahead and expunge that from my record.
Right.
So I'll say number 3. Number 3, I'm gonna go with probably go with Zach Fresh and Trigno. And
how I asked you for 3, you said 1A and 1B, and then you got 3A and 3B.
Because Twitter expanded my character limit.
Okay.
So you was asking, for the 140, I gave you the 240.
That's crazy.
So they expanded that, so I went ahead and flipped it.
That's wild. Word.
Yes, sir.
Well, Shit, man, I appreciate it. You gave out a lot of gems in this joint and everything.
Oh, man, I appreciate his love.
Yeah, I thank you for, giving me your time and everything like that. I don't really got no way to end this, so I'm just going to end it like
You're just going to end it this how you end it?
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
All right, that's bad. Appreciate you.
Baby, come ride with me. Better yet, come fly with me. Won't you go